Welcome to Dog's Information. One thing, a friendly, goofy dog with beautiful yellow fur. But that is incredibly far from the real truth. There is hidden history, incredibly strange biology, and deep psychological behaviors that nobody can fully explain. These things set them apart from almost every other breed on the face of the earth. Some of the facts you are about to hear sound completely made up. They sound impossible, yet they are documented historical and scientific fact. And the last one is going to permanently change how you look at the dog sleeping at your feet tonight. Let's dive right in. Number 1. That smile is absolutely not a trick of the light. Look at your golden very closely the next time they greet you at the front door. Watch their face. The corners of their mouth pull sharply back and up. The tongue lolls out to the side. The muscles in the forehead soften. And their entire face relaxes into an expression that looks exactly like genuine human joy. Because it is, but it is also engineering. Golden retrievers were heavily shaped over generations to have a soft, wide jaw structure built specifically for carrying delicate things gently. That exact same jaw structure happens to sit in a permanent, easy upward curve. Other breeds can look alert, worried, or even intensely irritated when their face is completely at rest without meaning to. A golden's face is literally structurally built to look happy at rest. So when people say their golden retriever is always smiling, they are not projecting human emotions onto the animal. They are not imagining it. The bone structure is doing exactly what it was carefully bred to do 150 years ago. Number 2. Every single golden retriever on the planet comes from one single dog. This is the historical fact that stops people cold in their tracks. In the 1860s, a wealthy Scottish nobleman named Dudley Margery Banks watched a litter of wavy-coated solid black retrievers being born on his rugged estate. But one puppy came out an odd solid yellow color. In the 1800s, most strict breeders would have immediately called that oddball puppy because the color was considered a massive fault. Instead, Margery Banks was fascinated. He kept him. He named him Noose. He later bred Nouse with a now extinct rugged Spaniel type called the Tweed Water Spaniel. Every single golden retriever alive on the planet today, the one currently asleep on your living room floor, included, traces its DNA back through an unbroken genetic line to that single odd yellow puppy who almost did not survive his own litter. Your dog isn't just a popular breed. Your dog is the direct descendant of one bizarre genetic accident that somebody simply chose to keep. Number 3. Their tail does not wag the same on both sides. And it is not random. Researchers studying complex canine behavior found something mind-blowing. When a dog feels genuinely calm, safe, and happy, their tail neurologically swings much more strongly to the right side of their body. When something makes them uneasy, fearful, or highly anxious, the tail actively drifts to the left side. Dogs even rapidly pick up on this subtle visual cue in each other, reacting entirely differently depending on exactly which direction another dog's tail is leaning. So, that massive full body wag your golden gives you when you walk in the door from work isn't just generic enthusiasm. It is a highly tuned nervous system physically telling the absolute truth before the dog's brain even knows it is telling you anything at all. Number 4. Your golden was absolutely not born the color they are right now. Bring home a tiny fluffy golden retriever puppy. And the coat you see at 8 weeks old is almost never the coat you will actually see at 2 years old. Some puppies are born a nearly blinding pale cream, and slowly year by year they deepen into a rich dark copper. Others arrive looking dark and rich, and then dramatically fade lighter with every passing season. Professional breeders call this awkward in-between stage the puppy uglies. It is the prolonged phase when the soft, fluffy baby coat aggressively falls out in weird patches and the real dense adult double coat pushes through underneath. They look uneven, scruffy, and awkward for months. Nothing about the beautiful color you love today was fixed from the start. It quietly finished forming and changing while you were too busy falling in love with the puppy version. Number 5. Golden is not one color. It is an entire genetic spectrum. Official breed clubs currently recognize light, golden, and dark shades. But within that supposedly narrow range, you will find cream goldens so incredibly pale they are constantly mistaken for a completely different breed entirely, like a Great Pyrenees mix. And you will find deep red Goldens so intensely dark that strangers assume they are mixed with Irish setter. Two purebred Golden Retrievers holding the exact same strict bloodline standards with the exact same expensive pedigree paperwork can look almost absolutely nothing alike standing side by side in the grass. One single word trying to cover that much massive. Genetic variation shouldn't work as a breed name. And yet somehow it perfectly does. Number 6. They were never bred to be family pets first. They were bred for one highly specific job to save the shot. In the 1800s, wealthy hunters on Scottish estates had a very real, very frustrating problem. The retrieving dogs they were using kept heavily damaging the valuable game birds they were sent to fetch in the fields. The dogs were crushing them with the exact same strong jaws built to do the job. Marjorie Banks wanted a highly specific dog. He wanted a dog that could run full speed into freezing cold water, swim out to a downed bird, and carry it all the way back without leaving a single tooth mark on the flesh. That single obsessive requirement shaped absolutely everything about the breed you know today. The incredibly gentle mouth, the desperate eagerness to carry objects, the deep psychological need to have a job to do. The dog currently curled up on your soft couch was designed from the very beginning around the idea of holding something precious without ever hurting it. Number 7. They possess an incredibly bizarre sleep habit that nobody can fully explain. If you own a Golden, you know exactly what the Golden sprawl is. They will walk into the middle of the living room, drop down heavily, and lay completely flat on their back. All 4 legs are spread wide open, pointing straight up at the ceiling. Their belly is completely exposed. Their head is tilted back, and they will sleep deeply in this ridiculous position for hours. While other breeds do sleep on their backs occasionally, Goldens do it with a frequency that baffles behaviorists. In the wild, the belly is the single most vulnerable part of an animal's body. To expose it while unconscious is to invite a fatal attack. When your Golden drops into the sprawl in the middle of your kitchen floor, they are making a profound biological statement. They are saying, "I am so unbelievably safe in this specific house with this specific human that I do not need to protect my vital organs." It looks hilarious, but it is actually the ultimate silent compliment a dog can ever pay you. Number 8. That low grumble isn't a growl. It is a complete sentence. Golden Retrievers are famous among experienced owners for what people call talking. It is a rolling, deep, moaning, almost word-like sound that shows up when they are intensely excited, deeply frustrated, or desperate for your attention. It is completely different from a defensive warning growl. And any owner who has heard both knows the difference immediately. Some Goldens will even do it while holding a stuffed toy tightly in their mouth, turning the sound into something hilarious between a mumble and a deep complaint. Nobody ever taught them to do this. They simply have so much more emotional complexity to communicate than a standard bark can hold. So, they literally invented a vocalization somewhere in between. Number 9. They carry things to greet you because their instincts never got the memo. Watch a Golden run to the front door when you finally get home. Half the time they will frantically grab a dirty shoe, a stuffed toy, a random sock, or anything within physical reach before they even reach you. That is not random. Goofy excitement. That is the exact same intense retrieving drive that was carefully bred into their ancestors on those freezing Scottish riverbanks. Still firing rapidly in their brain more than 150 years later. It is just firing with absolutely nothing left to actually retrieve. So the instinct redirects. Every single object they frantically pick up on the way to greet you is a highly trained hunting dog proudly handing you a bird that was never actually there. Number 10. They have an obsession with water that borders on madness. Most dogs enjoy a quick swim on a hot day. Golden Retrievers are fundamentally drawn to water on a cellular level. It does not matter if it is a pristine swimming pool, a freezing lake in the middle of winter, or a disgusting stagnant mud puddle in the backyard. If it is wet, a Golden will find a way to lay in it. This intense drive goes right back to their origin. They were specifically engineered to hunt in the damp, freezing marshes of Scotland. Their brain associates water with doing their job, with purpose, and with extreme joy. Trying to keep a Golden Retriever perfectly clean on a hiking trail near a creek is a completely losing battle. You are fighting 150 years of genetics, and the genetics will always win. Number 11. They were built for cold water, and it shows in places you would never check. Look very closely right between your Golden's toes. You will find thick webbing, vastly more than most standard breeds carry. They literally have duck feet. Furthermore, their coat has two distinct layers, a soft, incredibly dense undercoat designed to trap body heat and a longer coarse water-repellent topcoat. These two layers work perfectly together to keep them completely warm and highly buoyant in freezing, churning rivers. Even their thick, heavy tail acts exactly like a rudder when they swim to help them turn sharply. Absolutely none of this is decorative fluff. Every single piece of a golden retriever's physical body was assembled around one specific dangerous task, going into freezing water and coming back out alive. And the dog currently sleeping on your dry carpet in a heated house still carries every single part of that intense physical design. Number 12. That intense eye contact you love is altering your brain chemistry. Researchers actively measuring hormone levels in human-canine interactions found something incredible. When dogs and their owners stare deeply into each other's eyes, both species get a massive, measurable spike in oxytocin. This is the exact same chemical hormone released between a human parent and a newborn baby to force bonding. Interestingly, wild wolves raised by humans do not show this chemical effect at all. It appears to be something domestic dogs developed specifically toward people, somewhere over thousands of years of living closely alongside us. So when your golden stops panting, goes completely still, and holds your gaze a little too long across the living room, that isn't just affection you are imagining. It is a biological bond loop that evolution built for exactly this purpose, running heavily in both directions at once. Number 13. They lean heavily into you on purpose, and it is not for physical balance. Golden retrievers are famous for walking up and pressing their full, heavy body weight against a person's leg, sometimes hard enough to nearly knock a small person over. Trainers refer to this behavior simply as leaning. It shows up the most in dogs that feel slightly anxious, uncertain about the environment, or simply crave intense emotional closeness. The heavy physical pressure has a highly measurable calming effect on their nervous system. It physically slows the dog's own heart rate down, the exact same way a weighted anxiety blanket works on a human being. Your dog isn't just stumbling into you clumsily by accident. They are deliberately choosing the heaviest, most physical way possible to say they desperately need to feel you right there in that moment. Number 14. They rank among the smartest working dogs alive, but nobody says it. Say the word smart dog, and most people instantly picture a border collie aggressively solving puzzles or a German shepherd doing intense police patrol work. Golden retrievers rarely get mentioned in the exact same breath. Yet, they consistently rank in the absolute top tier for obedience and working intelligence globally. They are highly capable of learning a brand new complex command in just a handful of repetitions. Their intelligence just doesn't look like sharp, intense focus. It looks like goofy eagerness. It looks like a dog that seems almost embarrassingly happy to be told exactly what to do. That intense happiness is doing a massive amount of the cognitive work. It is not that they are simple-minded. It is that they simply never ever stopped wanting to be incredibly useful to you. Number 15. They carry a bizarre soft-mouth instinct into everything they do. We talked about their mouth being bred for gentle retrieving, but the way it manifests in everyday life is astonishing. A golden retriever will actively use their mouth as a tool of affection, not aggression. It is incredibly common for a golden to gently take your wrist or your hand in their mouth, the way a human uses a hand to hold a child's hand. It is an instinctual desire to guide and connect, using the tool they were biologically engineered to use with the utmost care. Number 16. They possess a terrifying lack of personal space boundaries. If you want a dog that will sit quietly on the other side of the room and observe you, do not get a golden. Clears throat. They have zero concept of personal space. If you are sitting on the floor, they will sit directly on your lap despite weighing 70 pounds. If you are on the couch, they will wedge themselves forcefully between you and the armrest. If you go to the bathroom, they will push the door open and rest their chin on your knee. This isn't dominance, and it isn't separation anxiety. It is a deeply ingrained pack mentality. To a golden, physical proximity equals emotional security. They do not just want to be near you. They want to be a physical extension of you. Number 17. They were quietly chosen to sit beside people on the worst days of their lives. Golden retrievers make up a massively disproportionate share of the world's highly trained therapy and service dogs. They work in intense environments, chaotic trauma hospitals, high-stress courtrooms, active disaster zones, and children's terminal cancer wards. It isn't just an accident of their popularity. Their incredibly unique combination of a rock-steady temperament, near-zero natural aggression, and a genuine desperate desire to be near people made them almost uniquely suited to sit quietly next to someone in severe crisis and simply be a steady presence. Somewhere in the world right now, in a bright hospital hallway you will never see, a golden retriever is doing the exact same critical job their ancestors did on a Scottish riverbank a century and a half ago. Showing up, staying calm, and carrying something incredibly fragile without ever letting go too hard. Number 18. The golden guilt face is actually appeasement. You come home to find the trash can tipped over. Your golden is sitting there looking up at you with huge sad eyes, their ears pinned flat against their head. Most people say, look how guilty they feel. Science disagrees. Dogs do not feel complex moral guilt. What your golden is actually doing is displaying classic canine appeasement behavior because they are so incredibly attuned to human emotion. They instantly read the shift in your posture, the tension in your face, and the tone of your voice. They know you are upset. Their submissive posture is their way of desperately trying to de-escalate the situation and restore peace to the pack. They aren't apologizing for the trash. They are apologizing for making you mad because your anger is the most terrifying thing in their world. Number 19. This is the one that changes absolutely everything. A golden retriever's intense loyalty was never supposed to be this deep. They weren't bred like heavy guard dogs wired to fiercely defend a specific territory. They weren't bred like herding breeds wired to obsessively manage a flock of sheep. They were bred for one incredibly narrow specific task, retrieving something precious and bringing it back completely whole. But somewhere along the way, without any breeder planning it, that ancient instinct stopped being about dead birds entirely. It started being entirely about you. Every single time your golden brings you a stuffed toy for absolutely no reason. Every time they lean their full heavy weight hard into your leg. Every time they wait patiently by the front window until your car turns onto the street. That is the exact same ancient biological drive firing, just aiming for a completely different target. You are not just their owner. You are the precious thing they were bred for 150 years to carry home safely. I have to know, do you have a golden retriever at home right now? Because every single owner has a specific story about the exact moment their dog stopped feeling like just a pet and started feeling like just a pet and started feeling like real family. Head down to the comments right now. Tell me your dog's name and tell me the most ridiculous, loyal, or hilarious thing yours has ever done. We read every single one, and the best story always wins the comment section. Thanks for watching, and like and subscribe, share please.